back here at the compound. One of the better ideas, using the truck to help sort the aluminum. Keeps it off the ground, pretty much, unless it's like something big, like that ladder. I'll have to cut that into pieces. So much stuff we throw away, but mostly because it just simply stops working. Except for this dryer, I guess there's some small malfunction, but allegedly it still works, so maybe I'll take it home. It's a 120 volt, so it's got a standard. It's stuck under the machine. I was just going to show. It just has a standard 1500 watt. Allegedly that thing runs. One of the few lawn tractors that got thrown away with bald tires. I mean, those are practically worn down to the cords. Well, that did work until it got rained on. Might still work, actually. I'm not a resale operation, though. Maybe I could be, though. I'm a one-man band. That's full. The ground is getting full. There's really no progress on the truck. I run in fits and starts, so is what it is. There's some tires I found. Maybe I'll look at my own video to remember what size this thing is right here. 225 55 R17. I don't really care about the width. A little bit more about the profile. Well, most importantly is the rim size, because it's going to fit or not fit. So 17 inch 255, I mean 55R, that's the width, and 225, that's the profile right there. So what you want is two tires with matching profile when you put them on an axle, especially your drive axle, because you could end up screwing up the differential, because the car thinks that it's constantly turning if you have different size profiles. This right here, this is a 12 volt transformer, and I found there's an electric weed whacker right there, but found this battery powered one over here. You know, for those times when you're too lazy to get the gas one fired up. I don't know how many volts this thing is, but it still works, I guess. Well, that's alright. It still works. I mean, I can't beat the price. Those darn things, I almost tripped over it. Did you hear that? How many volts? $12 volts. So, I'm such a hack. This transformer thing right here, I got this off of one of those cheap air hockey table things. I took the motor off and I found this. 12 volts. So guess what? I'm gonna take this thing home, and while nobody at my house uses a weed whacker, first of all, these things are such finicky tools that my kids would end up, they would end up tearing, breaking it or tearing it apart. And not really deliberately, maybe deliberately. That way they get out of work. Well, let's just say it's not deliberate. And it's just because, I don't know. It's like somebody else driving your car, right? The car actually gets used to, it's like a horse. A car is no different than a horse. A horse gets used to the same driver, or rider rather. Well, a car does the same thing. The property manager dropped all this crap off. Oh boy. He dumped it all on me, and I gotta get this out of here before the landlord sees it, because he's not gonna be happy about it. Put it that way. All this crap just was laying around the property. And I guess they want it gone. And the landlord knows that I don't move at rocket speed, let's just put it that way. And if he sees it back here, he's gonna take my head off. That looks like some kind of service rack of some kind. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Well, I know the gas bottle I can't get rid of. Some of these hubcaps look like they might be something. Chrysler. Chrysler Corporation. I mean, like, first of all, that is the most hopeless company since the word ever. That's a generic Chevy hubcap. That's a Ford truck. This is generic or Chrysler. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of times Chrysler products were, or Dodge products had those. That's typically GM 15-inch. Oh dear. Raining in here, well, outside, but dripping there on the floor from them skylights right above. Hey. And of course, a little bit of flood coming in. Because right here is at the water table level out there at the river. Nothing you can do about it. It just comes out of the ground, actually. You'd have to raise the level of the ground like about at least a foot. Then you wouldn't be able to get in there. Right? So enough of that. Alright, where was I? Oh, I was looking at this crap. Seeing what got brought over here. More Chrysler products. This looks like a Chevy part. There's a Ford hubcap. This looks like a General Motors 15-inch beauty ring right there. Looks like a Chevy Impala Hellcat. Probably from like the early 80s, late 70s. I don't know what the heck is on there. Some pieces of steel or something. A couple old General Electric street lighting. Antiquated technology. I mean, they use the LEDs, which allegedly are supposed to last for decades, or at least 20 years. That's not happening. I see them shorted out everywhere. Good toolbox, getting rained on. I'm not crying though. This is what it is, right? I'm like Dick Van Dyke, constantly tripping over the ottoman. Alright, it was funny the first time, funny the second time, funny the 15th time, but every time, move the damn thing out of the way. And I never, you know, like the reruns of that show. Well, first of all, they only had one kid. Well, that would suck. Meaning that one kid living in the family, and these old friends or relatives, I don't know what they were. That Jewish couple. They're always over in the living room visiting. The heck are they talking about? Like stocks and bonds? I mean, you're the only child. Make you want to hang yourself. Dad trips over the ottoman constantly. Man, move that shit out of the way. Right? Tell yourself that, King. Move that antenna out of the way. I'm losing my mind because of all the rain. Sorry, guys. That river is like starting to come up again. Well, enough belly aching and griping. Let's fire up the minivan and see what kind of scores we can find. I have an empty pickup truck sitting at home. It's hot and steamy in here. I really gotta fix this window. It's really annoying. Kind of like your channel. Oh boy, that thing's out loud. Turn that down. 9:44. I put the window down and then the mosquitoes are gonna come in here. Because this place is like, this place went from like the frozen tundra to the Amazon rainforest in like the matter of like 4 weeks. I don't know what to do. Hey, I could always replace a brake pad, right? One brake pad at a time. Even things like this, like a bicycle light. This is antiquated. First of all, it weighs about 2 pounds. So no avid bicycle rider would use it. Plus it's got this old-fashioned incandescent light bulb, which is powered by a generator, which I don't think true bicycle advocates use anymore. They use the LED lights, which are battery powered, so less drag on the bicycle, and the LED lights, although they use a lot less electricity. which I wonder if they're good for the eyes, because the light is produced by an electric arc, which is similar to a welding arc, and you're not supposed to look at the welding arc because it does damage to the retina. I wonder, has any animal testing been used to... Oh yeah, there's more chairs there for me. Have they tested LED lights on animals in the lab, or to see whether damage happens to the retina? So there's kind of like a lot of like weird stuff in that scrap that was brought over, so I'm gonna have to mix it up and create like my scrap stew recipe, like a scrap salad, because I can't show up at any scrapyard, even the best one, with all seats, you know, one, maybe two, pushing it at a time. So the key here is find plenty of scrap, mix in a little bit of that stuff, good to go. As the prices keep plummeting, which they will until about November, and then they'll start going back up again. But the trade war with China that's permanent. That's not going to end. That's a permanent situation.